next to the walls you can see different videos that explores what people doing in the darkness. They're kissing, they explore themselves, they explore their sexuality, what they're feeling deep in their souls.
In this deep dive into haute couture for summer 2023, we're uncovering a hidden facet of the design process, research and exploration. Young Ukrainian designer Ivan Frolov has been in the business for 10 years and produces mostly couture pieces. His research focuses on our propensity to seek out the source of our desires, sexual and otherwise, through social interactions. Ensembles for men and women, which are always extremely sensual but never vulgar. From the depths of the human soul to the clear waters of the seabed itself, with Dutch designer Iris van Herpen.
This collection was really about female empowerment, and I wanted to express that within a storyline that felt as deep as possible, like to go as close to the subject as possible. And I wanted to collaborate with someone that really embodies that female strength. And I saw Julie Gauthier, her work, a few years ago, and it really inspired me. And another dream of me already for a long time was to make a collection for space, like for non-gravity. The sea or the deep down is actually the same environment, like we lose gravity, and also the water is like a lens, like all the colors become really vivid and alive, and the textures, and it was really a challenge to design for this new environment. And a lot of the inspiration comes from the deep sea, so it's actually quite special for me to now really embrace that environment for the design process. Yeah.
Back on dry land with Yuima Nakazato, a designer who travels the world seeking out similarities between Japanese customs in traditional dress and other national costumes. On a recent trip to Africa, one of his observations was that haute couture can be made for women or for men.
It is man or woman, so that's kind of because Japanese kimono, there are no kind of gender. It's the same shape. It's a rectangle shape. But I also been Kenya in October. This is what's kind of think about the future of the fashion industry. So I also learned the tribe people, like a traditional costume in Africa, Kenya. They also wear kind of rectangle textile wrapping around the body. So I saw like simulations of Japanese kimono and also the African tribe kind of costume. So that was, for me, it's big impressions, big inspiration for me. And also I've been the Garbage Mountain in Kenya. That's also kind of part of the human. So I try to mix positive part of human, but also kind of negative part, and try to mix and try to express it during the collection.
For Dutch designers Viktor and Rolf, exploration takes on an entirely different meaning. They named their couture collection the late-stage capitalism waltz, proof that the duo are just as talented with words as they are with scissors, taking great pleasure in ironic turns of phrase.
Well, it's an absurd take on the stereotype of couture ball gown. We all have this image in our head, more or less, of, with the bustier, the big skirt, the lovely colors, and embroidery. And we love that. We love the glamour of that. We also like concept, conceptual glamour.
As for French designer Alexandre Vauthier, there's more of a down-to-earth question playing on his mind. What do women want? Not all women, just the ones who invest in haute couture and who aren't against a little fake fur. There's a lot of it featured here for a summer collection.
In fact, I'm going on the notion that there's a demand for it. I have clients who are going to incredible beaches, spending their summers at the classic Mediterranean sites, but they're starting to move away from those destinations. In the summer, many of them are now headed to chilly Nordic places where it's 5 degrees Celsius in August. There's been something of a break in habits. Everyone's trying to escape the crowds, escape the heat. New destinations mean new ways of dressing. It's really interesting to see what's happening after COVID, where some of our reference points have become blurred, where the world's starting up again, but we're not sure how. There's a lot of anxiety, and people on social media are always harking back to the same places. Nevertheless, there's this sort of subtle underground movement, this reversal of certain behaviors that I find really interesting.
Exploring oneself, others, the world around us, to come up with pieces that are beautiful, amusing, and even absurd. It's yet another definition of haute couture.